It is Pick Central, our daily gambling and sports show here on Barstool Sports, where we talk gambling. I'm so ready to get out of the rut of baseball season because I just, I go 1-3 one night, I go 2-2. A great night's 3-1 these days. I just don't have the. I'm not a marathon man. I like to. I'm ready for football. I see football coming. I know it's coming. We're right at a month for college football. We're right at 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks. Is that a fighter?
Yeah, it's a boxer, I believe.
Boxer? He does look like he would beat the shit out of anybody in the office.
I know who he is, too, but I just can't remember his name right now.
I figure if Large is walking with him, he's probably a fighter. So,
I think he was actually, I think he was just on Mike Tyson's podcast, actually.
Really?
I can't.
Do you listen to Mike Tyson's podcast?
Sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, sometimes.
I
watch it on YouTube.
I've never listened to Mike Tyson's podcast.
They get some pretty A-list guests. It's pretty good. I'm a fan.
I would think so. Mike, in the world of boxing, Mike Tyson.
He also he always has a third guy. Like, they interview somebody, and then he has another guy who it's kind of like a revolving door of co-hosts.
Mike Tyson, the most famous living boxer. Who's second? Mayweather? Is Mayweather more famous? Mayweather would be second.
Mayweather's really famous.
Yeah, I would say Mayweather definitely more than like Holyfield or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Pacquiao, not
Pacquiao's
especially with him being
Mayweather, Mayweather next though.
Actually,
sure.
Pacquiao should be up there because of Asia.
Yeah. So world famous. I would say Pacquiao's probably number one.
I would say 3. Like, I would say if you like Tyson, Mayweather, Pacquiao.
Tyson, Mayweather. Who's more famous is definitely a question worth arguing. You could argue that Mayweather's more famous than Tyson.
I guess.
Certainly not. I don't think he's as revered as Tyson, even though he's.
I told you after I started watching the podcast, I would just see the way these like such A-list people would just react to just talking to him and just being like, you are like Eminem, who's literally one of the most famous people in the planet.
Right.
Looked at him and was like, you are a god to me.
Yeah.
And it made me think that pretty much if it wasn't for the sneakers,
Right.
I think he's way more famous than Michael Jordan is. Worldwide.
Well, now hold on.
And then so the reason I said this too, there was another guy who's the biggest MMA like UFC manager, who's from Egypt, and his theory was that he was like, I've been to Africa, I've been to these places. Little kids in Africa, they know who Mike Tyson is.
Let me take you back to the late '80s. Growing up as a kid, I was, I turned 10 in 1989. So late '80s, the 3 most famous athletes in the world, and they were about equal. This was before Michael won a title. They were Michael Jordan, they were Bo Jackson, they were Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson ends up getting the rape charge and loses the belt, never really captures it again. Bo Jackson hurts his hip in 1991 NFL playoffs and never really captures it again. Michael starts winning championships, goes to the moon. But those were the 3. They were equals in like February of 1990 when he lost to Douglas. That was one of the most stunning things that ever happened in my life. I wish this computer would.
No, that was 40. I remember Buster Douglas was plus 42 to 1. 42 to 1.
I just watched the 30 for 30 on it.
You ever go back and watch the 10th round is on YouTube? You just go back and watch just the 10th round only, which I believe is when he knocked him out. It's just stunning. He just beat the shit out of him all night.
No, he brought it to him. He took it to him, no question. Because I literally just watched it maybe the last like 3 weeks. I mean, he was giving it to him the entire fight.
Yeah. Man.
After those early rounds, Tyson just kind of didn't really have anything for him. He just didn't have the cardio.
Who's more famous, Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather? Hey, TJ.
Hey.
Twitter poll, Pick Central. Who's more famous, Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather? I want to see how lopsided it is. I think it's Tyson, but I want to see if it's like 90-10 or if it's like 53-47.
I'm curious. I'm
going to guess it's going to be more like 65-35.
65-35?
In favor of Tyson.
Where were you on the Mike Tyson video game, the Little Mac? I mean, that was my favorite. That was top 3 to 5 ever.
Have we ever met?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is I probably have 5 Mike Tyson's Punch-Out shirts in my rotation. I think we talked about it on the Yak yesterday. You can put it on this TV right now. I could go right through it. Go from Glass Joe to Von Kaiser to Piston Honda, all the way through.
Soda Popinski.
Yeah. Well, I think he's 9th. But, you can absolutely I love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I love everything about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It's top 5 video game in the history. Even now, that game itself, with every technological, I think it's a top 5 game in history, especially sports game.
Could you beat Mike Tyson without Game Genie? I couldn't.
I've never beaten Mike Tyson. I've played it so many times. I've always and I I think I did the code a couple times, the 007, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I think I did the code a couple times, but I always wanted to just get there and beat him, honestly, and I never could.
I lost in decision a couple times. Was heartbroken. I remember it like child.
Because Super Macho Man and Soda Popinski take so much out of you before you get there, and Sandman, they take so much out of you before you get there, and then you get to Tyson, and it's just like fighting a tank. Fighting it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I got to the end and it was a decision. Like I knocked him down once and I thought I had it, and then I was just heartbroken.
You ever seen the speedrunners that play it blindfolded?
Yeah. I mean, there are speedrunners that play all these old games that can just do everything. That can't be fun. TJ, this thing right here.
So there was a prompt. Did you click update?
I don't know. I didn't click anything.
Because normally it says update or don't update.
Okay, well I didn't, and in the chat I can't stop it right now.
No, if it says don't turn it off, then you can't, because it's updating the software.
Don't turn off your So this I don't have the chat right now.
Says
I'm sure
the screen,
you have to power through it.
I'm
direct
sure,
quote, this will take a while.
I'm sure the chat is talking right now. I need my callers. I need everything. And this fucking computer that
well, it's at 6%.
First of all,
Brandon.
this fucking laptop is fucking from like 1994.
Yeah, thanks to SiriusXM for that.
Oh, well, actually, we shouldn't say that out loud. They'll probably come get it.
Yeah.
We're at 7%. We should just. This show now is me just updating the updates. We are at 8%.
My dad's watching. He just said in 1988 he paid $100 to see Mike Tyson knock out Michael Spinks in 91 seconds.
91 seconds. If you hadn't said the number, I told you.
He's told me the story many times. He went to like a nice like steakhouse with one of his best friends.
Yeah.
And they basically were just cutting the steaks and they looked up and it was over.
91 seconds. Yeah. He had so many. If you ever, I don't know why we're talking about Tyson today, but I love it. If you ever are on YouTube and just want to kill some time, like everybody is every single day of their life, just watch early Mike Tyson fights. I think there's an all Mike Tyson's knockout.
I literally watch his highlights of his knockouts weekly. I'm dead serious.
I mean, he knocks guys into next year.
And he's always so much smaller. That's, I think, what people don't talk about enough. He was a heavyweight who was like 5'10", like 210 pounds. And just knocking the daylights out of guys who are 6'4", 240.
Yeah, he'll take a 6'4" guy
murdering them.
And he'll punch them. It'll just 1-2 real quick, and their legs just won't work anymore. It's like they don't fall straight down; their legs just go sideways. There you go, 76%.
Okay, so it was in the middle. You thought it might be 90-10. I thought it'd be 60 or 65.
Okay, well,
granted, Tyson, New York guy, New York ledge.
It's early. So we'll see how.
There's just such just the persona of Mike Tyson. Like, I feel like I never got to see him fight, like, for real, besides him just fighting Roy Jones, like, last year or whatever. And I still, like, idolize this guy. Like, I watch his highlights all the time. I just think I watch, like, every documentary that's ever been done about him. Like,
yeah.
They're just I love the concept, even, like, back in the day when he's coming out and just, like, no robe or just, like, the towel with the slit in it. Just no, like, I'm here literally just to take your head off, collect my check, and leave.
I feel like he's very similar to Tiger Woods as being the GOAT in his sport, because Tiger Woods, I don't think, is going to have the longevity to catch Jack Nicklaus's majors record or anything else like that. But in that thin sliver of prime of their careers, Tiger Woods the best there ever was. There was nobody that reached the level. I feel the same about Mike Tyson.
Their peaks were the highest.
I feel like Mike Tyson has the highest peak in boxing history. Muhammad Ali was a great champion and had a career that
he had longevity too,
and he had multiple runs with the strap, and so did a couple other guys. But Mike Tyson's 85 through 90 is the highest peak in the history of boxing. It was just, he was different. He was different. And you say built different? He actually was.
I mean, he was just a legitimate killer.
He was
a killer.
He
talks about it all the time in these documentaries. Like, he was like, I would win before I walked in. They were legitimately afraid of me.
Yeah, because
I could see it. I could smell it off them.
These guys would walk in with glittery robes, and they would walk in with Kool and the Gang playing, music playing. He would walk in with no music, wearing a towel,
black towel with a hole in it.
That he cut out a head hole in it, and he just take the towel off and just beat the shit out of you. And we are at 11%.
And it's awesome too, because when you watch, it's so crazy, because obviously these boxers now, they fight maybe like once a year, maybe twice a year. When you watch, like, there's a bunch of just highlights of every single one of his knockouts. It's like January 86, like April 86, August 86. November 86, because he would just knock guys out so fast. He'd fight like 4 or 5 times a year.
Za, not your job at all or anything, but I'd like to ask for, if you have somebody that can get it for me, just go to my desk and get my computer so I can bring the chat up so I can have my chat.
Coolio's
going to do it? We're going to bring in a famous rapper to do this?
That's him saying he got you.
Oh, okay. That would be a fantastic voyage if we did get Coolio.
Oh, nice one. I like that.
Thank
I
you,
like
Ben
that.
Mintz. Always like when there's a fellow old person in the room.
I've heard the name.
Yeah.
Coolio, Afro Man. Get me on all that.
I know
Bone
Afro
Thugs.
Man.
Yeah. Were you Bone Thug? Do you know Bone?
Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crossroads.
Yeah.
I love the Tupac song with Bone as well. I don't remember what it's called.
I don't either.
Thug something. Thug Light? No, it's not Thug Light.
Ball.
No, it's
Thugger Mark.
No, it's Thug. No, it's not. No, it's not that.
Okay, that's
So it must be close to the armor again. I don't know what it is. Fuck. It has 2 gunshots as the beat. Boom, boom. I don't know what it's called. If I have my chat, I'm sure they're telling me right now. They're telling me that I'm a 42-year-old.
Thug Love.
Thug Love. Thank you very much. LUV, right?
Yep.
Okay. Very good. We got a lot going on in the sports world. NBA draft tonight. You got the MLB trade deadline looming. The Yankees have. It is hilarious to me that the Yankees have built this team around right-handed power hitters that can't stay on the field. So get to the trade deadline. All right, what do we need? What if we got a power hitter?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he's lefty.
Okay, yeah. Well, I thought about that. But what if we got a guy that just hits home runs?
Or strikes out or walks.
Yeah, let's get that guy. And what's up? I can do this. What do you? That's my computer. Where's he going? Oh, you're going to be able to get the calls from me on that? Okay, well, I noticed the laptop's dirty. You must have done that on the right way over. I didn't. That's not me. We're at 18% on this computer, so hopefully I'll be able to
Probably by the end of the show, it might be ready.
Yeah. We'll
Maybe
take
ready
your
for the Yak.
Pick Central calls on the Yak. Oh, people would love that if we took Pick Central calls on the Yak. They wouldn't hate that at all. I think we're playing a video game on the Yak today. I don't know. I saw Nikki T running around with a Switch.
Ooh.
With a Nintendo Switch, so I don't know what we're doing. I don't want to spoil anything. You got the MLB trade deadline. Yankees getting Gallo. You got a couple of announcements made by Barstool. Boy, it's been a big announcement week by Barstool.
It has.
You had the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl on Tuesday. Last night announced that Rough and Rowdy, I believe it's Rough and Rowdy 15.
Yep.
Rough and Rowdy
August
15.
27th, I believe.
The main event, Pac-Man Jones. No? That's a no. Okay, Pac-Man Jones against Bobby Lang, the guy who's 5-0, the heavyweight champ. Pac-Man Jones walking in.
Lang's a beast. I love. I sit right. Me and Devlin sit right next to each other, so I'm always hearing what's going on. So I've known that he was going to be in the headliner for a while. Very excited about it. That's going to be a very interesting. Bobby Lang's a monster. But Pac-Man Jones is also, and is obviously a phenomenal athlete. And the video, he looks in great shape.
There you go. Look at that.
He looks shredded.
I think he's going to kill Bobby Lang.
You think so?
I think he's going to kill him.
I think my only thing with Lang is obviously Pac-Man is going to have the athletic advantage. I would imagine the speed advantage. Lang's a tough dude, man. That's a head that can just take punches. You got to remember how hard.
Yeah.
The jeans guy hit.
Yeah.
And if you can eat punches from that guy, I'm convinced you can eat punches from almost anybody.
That guy couldn't box. He just spun around and
yes, agreed. It's going to be a different type of fight for sure.
All right, we'll find out.
Pac-Man's got home field in West Virginia. Old Pac-Man.
Lang's got. He's been there before though.
Yeah, he's been there.
He's the champ.
I don't know, man. Pac-Man that airport fighting video just throws the stuff down, gets to fighting. NFL DBs have a next level of quickness.
And when Pac-Man's different.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm saying in a good way. I'm saying in a good way.
How much boxing experience?
I think Pac-Man's got a little edge to him that definitely helps in boxing.
Yeah.
I think he's got a little edge. Obviously, he's a good athlete. The guy not only was a corner, he used to return kicks.
Is this our are they fighting as an exhibition or is this for the title? I assume it's for the title.
I mean, Bobby Lang's got the belt. This is for the belt.
So if he wins, Pac-Man Jones will be our Rough and Rowdy heavyweight champion.
That is very fitting.
He's the king. Bobby Lang's the king. If you go beat Bobby Lang, you got it.
Yeah, he's 5-0, and then Pac-Man Jones, very good. Okay, so we had some great main events lately. Last one was Hornswoggle over WWE. That was he came out, put on a good show. Jose Canseco obviously did what he did. Mm-hmm. Now I think this will be as far as the quality of what's going to happen inside the ring. It's going to be.
I just think this is going to be a slugfest, which is going to be awesome.
Because I don't think it's in Pac-Man Jones to come in there, get a check, and lay down. I don't think that's.
No, I mean you look at him. If those are. I mean, I don't think it's doctored footage. He looks in phenomenal shape.
Huge.
Like the abs are popping.
Huge dip in his mouth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Monster. Absolute hammer.
I don't dip.
I used to when I was a kid.
I bet you've done all manner of dips.
Man, honestly, I tried it once. It was wasn't for me. I mean, I used to.
You look like a dip.
Yeah, no, I do look like someone that would dip, but I mean, I would like casually smoke cigs if I was partying back when I was young, but I don't do that either.
Casually smoke cigs.
I
But
casually.
like if I
dipped when I was in
studied,
high
if I
school.
took Adderall and was studying for a final, I'd smoke cigs, or if I was like boozing at a bar when I was younger, I would. But
You're a fascinating human being.
Yeah, that's normal. There's a lot of people that don't
When
smoke
did
cigs
Adderall
unless they
become
drink.
normalized? By the way,
it was big when I was in college.
I'd say in the last
I don't know, man. It was going on
when I was in college.
you
it
were in
definitely
college
was
for
very
the
normal.
entire 2010s.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. I mean, from 06 to 14, there was a pretty big break, but it was big when I was like 18, 19. That's 20 years.
I
ago.
think it started to become a thing when I was probably a junior in high school, which is about 2010, 2011.
Okay, all right. We're at 21% on this computer. I do have the chat in my lap now, so
got
you
the
guys
chat
are
on,
sitting on top of my nuts. So
we
chat,
can give you the calls. You're just not going to be able to see what
Oh,
they're
okay.
talking
So
about
you could
beforehand.
tell me who they are, who and what they are. Then
yeah.
okay.
What is this?
Do you guys want to do that soon? I'll start referring to you. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay.
If you need, if you need a call, we have calls.
Serious, come get your fucking punk ass Dell computer that I could have bought at Walmart in 1998. But please
Yeah,
don't
bitches.
please don't come get it because we actually we need it.
Yeah.
Don't we? Apparently we do.
Yeah, there's the calls
apparently.
software is downloaded on there. So
All right, TJ, are you taking calls today? Did you see how that guy wrote "Are you"?
Yeah, go win Rutgers on them.
Rah-rah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rah-rah.
Brady, you coming to a game this year?
Yeah, I'll go to a game. When do you want to go to a game? Who's your biggest home game? You got Ohio State at home?
I don't think so.
Well, you got Michigan at home. You play in the East. You're gonna have to play one of those at home.
I
I'm sure.
think we have Michigan this year. I could be wrong about that though.
I
No, I lied. We have Ohio State.
Okay. Well, don't ever lie to me again.
I'll come. I'll go to the rack.
Hell, well, we don't play at
That's
the
the
basketball.
basketball.
Stadium,
Oh, you're saying football? I thought you were
Right.
saying basketball.
No.
but I'm assuming you guys are gonna be gone for all the football games.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at in my head.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna be going for several.
I just assumed basketball.
Yeah, we're gonna be going for several, but I'll still come over there to Piscataway. No,
Yeah, Piscataway.
that's where the stadium is.
Yep.
Okay.
That's where my mom grew up. Fun fact.
And the school's in Brunswick, East
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. Okay. Brandon, the most iconic moment from the Summer Olympics. Kurt Angle is damn true. Yeah, he broke one with a. He won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck. It's true.
Wow.
In 1996. I think
bless
the
him.
most iconic Olympic moment is either Jason Lezak in the 4x100 in against France to help Michael Phelps win the gold back then, 2008, or it's probably Trinidad and Tobago being awarded a gold medal on a technicality a couple days later after Jamaica was stripped of a gold medal for doping. I think those are the two that stick out in everybody's heads. I think they're very, very even Olympics moments. I think those are the top two. Those are it. And what?
I like the Michael Johnson in '96 running. I remember.
You know, I don't really care what the most iconic Olympic.
I don't really. I'm just mentioning that because I remember it was a huge thing. When
I
I
am
was a kid.
subtweeting right now.
Okay.
I'm subtweeting.
Okay.
I'm not trying to spoil anything ever, but I'm just saying one moment in the Olympics was very iconic. The other clearly also iconic. Trinidad and Tobago getting awarded a gold medal on technicality. There goes my sister, Big Ev. What did she get at
Sick.
Staples? What do you think she got at Staples?
I don't know. Looks like a heavy bag.
It
too.
did look like a
she
heavy
enjoying her internship so far?
Yeah, I think she is. I think she's tired of living with me and my family because I have 4 kids and a
Sure,
dog.
they love having Aunt Katie around.
and a dog, Sam, and cat Fluffy. Fluffy's been shitting outside the litter box lately. I got to figure out what's going on with the
that's
cat
brutal.
shits. Acknowledge, excuse me, my voice just left. Acknowledge us, B-Walk. Hello, Ben Rants. Hello, how you doing in the chat? Hello, chat boys. The chat boys. I like that.
Chat boys?
There's definitely not any girls in there.
I wouldn't think so. I
There's-
can't imagine.
There's not a set of tits in this chat, I promise. Well, there
yeah,
are
there's
tits.
Probably plenty
but
of
they're
tits.
more like us, yes.
Probably plenty of tits.
Yeah,
but
a lot of tits. There's no vaginas in the chat.
A lot
I think it's safe to say
lot
that.
of man boobs, a lot of moobs, as they say.
Yeah, a lot
of
of
moobies.
A lot of folks looking like me and you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
And you as well. Yeah.
I did finally get my lazy ass in the gym last night. I've been struggling lately. I ran 5 miles. I feel a lot better. We gotta.
Oh, me and Ed met at the gym. What did you run? 4.5 today?
I actually did 3.25 miles today, Brandon.
Did you really?
I've been
just trying to fuck with him, but
I've been doing my little. I'm not going to do the whole shtick I did last time. I think I need to do it real this time, without just searching for content in a pandemic, without I don't know, being Tony Robbins. I was feeling myself. That's how I was
good
feeling
for a while.
No,
though.
that's how I was feeling at the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to I didn't think I fell off the wagon hard. Football season came around. I was doing less of that. They wanted me to focus content-wise less on that kind of stuff, but got to do it on my own. So I do my little post post a little picture by the water on Instagram, just let people know I'm out there at 8:30 a.m. pounding the pavement.
Like it.
This is the first week. I'm through 4 days. I've been strong, but it's
good.
It's infinity days. It's not just So this whatever.
It's good if you can get in that habit and do it in the morning before you come in. You know,
that's how I always. I
struggle with that.
I won't do it after work. I know I won't. I want to watch the games.
How many calls we got, Zah?
Full deck, pretty much.
Full deck.
Yep.
Big old deck. My wife likes my big deck. It's she likes to sit on it. It's outside the house. Big deck.
Oh, yeah. I've been on your deck before, Brandon.
Yeah, you have been on my deck.
Yeah.
You've never been on my deck.
I've not. We got to get a trip out there.
Not a lot of people have been on my deck. It's
And then you almost died.
Oh, I had a heart attack. Yeah.
And then you literally didn't move anything.
While you guys were
you almost died.
While you guys were eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I drove you guys. He helped me move in. Him, Marty, and Glenny Balls. They helped me move in. Really, we had some TaskRabbit guys there that really helped me move in. But you did a lot more than I did.
They were some monster.
Right.
They were some college offensive linemen. I think maybe like D2 or D3 in the offseason. They were some big boys. They were moving some furniture.
I had some beasts there, but the Big Ev helped too, and so did Glenny. And when they got done moving, they wanted to go to Applebee's because there's an Applebee's near where I live. It's in Paramus. And I ended up I drive the guys to Applebee's. And earlier that day, I'd been moving a lot. I had been moving, and I had hurt a muscle dead in the middle of my back, like right behind your heart, and I thought I was having a heart attack. I legitimately thought. So I dropped them off at Applebee's. I parked in the Best Buy right next to the Applebee's, and I call the ambulance. They come get me. Ambulance gets out there, and are you listening at all?
Yeah, I'm listening. You're talking about your ambulance. You thought you had a heart attack on your deck. I'm listening more than you think.
No, I wasn't on my deck. I was driving them to Applebee's. I had my heart attack.
Trying to eat good in the neighborhood?
I was trying to eat good in the neighborhood, and
we were.
Anyway, I ended up going to the hospital, and they said, your heart's fine, pussy. And I had to pull a muscle on my back. It'll fool you, though.
That's not something in your head paranoid about.
If you ever pull a muscle like right near there, or behind your heart or in front of your heart, it'll think, oh God, I'm having a heart attack. It was dumb. Now it sounds dumb when I say it out loud.
I mean, I hope I don't feel it. I can't.
I mean, I'm glad it sounds dumb though, because that's something to be paranoid. That's something once you get in your head, you don't want to.
I think my actual heart attack that I'm going to have within the next 3 to 5 years will be much worse. When do you think you'll have yours?
I don't even want to say it because it's
I guess I shouldn't either.
My godfather had one at like 26.
Okay.
I'm currently 26.
All right, sorry about that.
My blood pressure.
No, he's fine. He's not dead.
I don't know. My blood pressure is perfect somehow, which seems like a divine intervention. I don't know how that's even possible, but it is. And so we got.
I'm too fat and stressed out to be talking about hypothetical heart attack.
Joseph Ames and one of the chat boys. I kind of like hashtag chat boys.
With a Z.
Yeah, chat boys. Joseph Ames says, B-Walk, is Bijan Robinson a sleeper Heisman pick plus 3,500? Yeah. I don't think so. It's a deep sleeper. I think Bijan Robinson is going to be one of these Texas guys that we just assume is going to be good. He had better numbers last year. I think he had 80-something carries, averaged 8 yards a carry. He's a very good running back. Very good running back. Now, Casey Thompson is the one that everybody just assumes is going to be good because he had a good bowl game.
I'm drinking his Kool-Aid, Brandon.
But you're drinking Casey Thompson Kool-Aid?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know, the bowl game. The bowl game breakout always worries me.
It's not even just the bowl game. Just like watching him and just his size and all this, I was like, he just looks like a better version of Sam Ehlinger.
But the thing about
more athletic.
Bijan Robinson is there are so many good running. It's so hard for a running back to win the Heisman. I really think
he can have an awesome year. But
who's the most recent?
If Najee Harris couldn't do it, who can?
Derrick Henry in 2015. That was a national title. Mark Ingram. That was a national title caliber team, or there was a national title winning team. You got to be on that 12-0 team. A 13-0
even like
team.
J.K. Dobbins the year when we lost to Clemson, he ran for 2,000 yards that year. He wasn't even really like.
Jonathan
he probably came in like 7th or 8th.
Jonathan Taylor rushed for like 2,400 yards and finished like
that was the
6th
same year.
Yeah.
Saquon too.
So you have to be so overwhelmingly good and on a great team. I feel like if you're going to win it from an 8-4 team, you got to be a quarterback that puts up ungodly numbers or ungodly highlights.
You literally have to be like Barry Sanders.
I feel like ungodly highlights are more important than sky high numbers these days because everybody has the numbers. You got to have the highlights.
You
like
need
RG3.
both. You need both.
But I do think Bijan Robinson could be but still. He could be very good and not be the best running back in that conference. Breece Hall at Iowa State is outstanding.
Yeah.
Gray at Oklahoma.
I think Eric Gray at Oklahoma is going to be.
Out of Tennessee.
I think he's going to be because Kennedy Brooks is just a guy to me. Like he's just been an Oklahoma running back forever. I think Eric Gray is going to come in there from Tennessee and just blow the doors off. So no, I don't like Bijan Robinson.
Why am I drawing a blank? What's the small running back from Kansas State?
Deuce Vaughn.
He's fucking good too.
Yeah,
I really like him.
There's a ton. Jared Broussard of Colorado.
Yes, he's fucking great.
Muhammad Ibrahim from Minnesota. There are a ton, and they don't all like Alabama's starting over at running back with Brian Robinson.
Bigsby at Auburn could have a big year.
Bigsby, these running back schools that always produce them, like Ohio State.
Watch Trevion Henderson. He's a true freshman.
Correct.
I think he's literally going to jump Master Teague and be the lead guy. He's that good.
But these big running back producing schools don't have the star guy this year. The star guys are at Minnesota and at Iowa State and at places like that. South Carolina, Kevin Harris, I think, is very good.
I love he wears just the knuckle tape, no gloves.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love him. Tank Bigsby as well. So there's a lot of saying, what about Chubba Hubbard? Well, he's gone. Chubba's gone. Hubbard. It's just Hubbard, though.
Yeah,
Hubbard.
yeah.
Yeah, I love Deuce Vaughn, too. Jarek Broussard, there's a couple more that I'm missing, a couple of smaller school guys. Remember Jarrett Patterson for Buffalo last year?
He was unreal.
Yeah. He was on pace for 9,000 yards. Ooh, I just love my chat boys.
My guy,
football talk.
Fresno State, Ronnie Rivers.
Brandon,
the ninth-year senior.
Did you ever play college fantasy football, Brandon? For fun?
I never did.
We were super, man. We had a league for 10, 15 years, and it was so cool because then I just felt like so much more about it when you know, I remember when Jordy Nelson was at Kansas State with Josh Freeman and Greg Jennings at Western Michigan. You'd know all the small school guys before they went in the NFL.
Somebody says Kyron Williams, Notre Dame. Yes.
Yes. And they're gonna run the ball this year.
But again, it is weird that the running back position is so stocked across the board in college football. But Clemson starting over from Etienne, Alabama starting over from Najee Harris. Ohio State. Master Teague was the guy last year until Trey Sermon took it over, and now you kind of become convinced. Well, Master Teague, if he wasn't the guy if he got usurped last year, then it's wide open for him to do it again.
I know the kid Trevion Henderson. He's a 5-star guy.
Letty Brown, West Virginia. Thank you very much.
How good is Spiller at A&M?
Zamir White. Every 5-star that goes to Georgia just turns into the same guy. They're good players, but there's no star. Whatever.
They just finally have a quarterback this year. So
that's the big story with Georgia. That's the big story with Georgia. Alabama quarterback signed over $800K in deals already. So that leads us into this topic.
Yep.
This is a topic that is near and dear to this guy's heart, and if you're a college football fan, you need to pay attention to it. Quinn Ewers is a guy we could talk about forever. He's time. Quinn Ewers is a rising 5-star quarterback at South Lake Carroll High School in Texas. Quinn Ewers is looked at as he is the highest rated quarterback recruit ever. He's a higher rated recruit than Andrew Luck. He's a higher rated recruit than Trevor Lawrence.
Wow.
He is almost, I think he's the first guy to get a perfect 100 on the 24/7 recruiting scale of recruit rankings. So he is the most decorated high school quarterback as far as the last 20 years, because that's when the ratings have really been in effect. So he is that big of a recruit. He is a rising senior. He is committed to Ohio State. He is playing in Texas high school football, where he is not allowed by Texas high school football law to get any money for his name, image, and likeness, which is blowing up across the country. As a high school player in Texas, he cannot cash in on that. However, if he were to enroll in Ohio State next week, if he were to graduate early, and he can take one English class online, graduate early, report for camp August 3rd, and start his career at Ohio State early and pick up on that $1 million that he's had companies in Texas in the all around there. Don't side eye me, Jeff Lowe. He's had companies that are trying to give him money, but he can't take it. Now, if he goes to Columbus, Ohio, he can take it. So we can attack this from many, many different directions. I'll ask 3 questions. Number 1 is, Ohio State fan, you want him there now? You want to roll with C.J. Stroud?
No, C.J. Stroud's still going to be the guy. I think.
I'm literally telling you that number one recruit
I understand.
ever.
I understand. But I mean, listen, no, if he's good, like I'm not saying I'm against him playing if he's the best player.
If he shows up August 3rd, I mean, he's already 18. I don't know if he got held back or whatever. He's 18 now. He's in the age of a freshman now. Okay, so if he shows up August 3rd with a full camp, I know C.J. Stroud's been there for a year. I mean, it's only a matter of time before he takes a job anyway.
No, listen,
certainly muddies the water for you.
I'm all about it. Whoever's the best player, I want playing quarterback. Obviously, I've been locked in at C.J. Stroud because he was the guy last year when Fields got hurt for a couple plays. He was the first guy to come in, so I'm already like, he's leader in the clubhouse. He was phenomenal in the spring game. Jack Miller, who he was competing with, was certainly not. Honestly, the guy, Kyle McCord, who I was just talking about before the show, who's a Philly guy, he looked really good. He's a true freshman.
I love how 5-star quarterbacks are just idiots and they keep going to Alabamas and Clemsons and Ohio States, even though there's
Jack Miller's going to be gone.
Even though there's one job and you're just going to transfer, you're just wasting 2 years of your fucking life. Go somewhere where you can play, guys.
But at least now
Jack Miller's going to be playing at Arizona State or something in a year or two.
At least you can transfer and immediately be eligible now.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't work out.
But I'm more so another thing too with this.
Hold on. Go ahead. I saw you pick it up. I
just looked at the clock and realized that my instincts were going off. IP Vanish. Get started with this limited time offer and save a whopping 65% off monthly and annual subscriptions. IP Vanish is a virtual private network, a VPN for short. A VPN is a super important tool that helps you safely browse the internet. You can use a VPN on your computers, tablets, phones, even things like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. When you use a VPN, all your data is encrypted. What you're reading, what you're searching, what you're watching is all protected. If you care about the security of your online activity, the easiest way to protect yourself is with IP Vanish VPN. Rated 4.7 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, IP Vanish provides an encrypted connection for all of your internet traffic, helping to prevent websites, Wi-Fi providers, and even hackers from intercepting your data. You can help keep your financial details, personal info, and online activity safe from threats with IP Vanish. So get started with this limited time offer and save a whopping 65% off monthly and annual subscriptions by going to ipvanish.com/central. One more time, that's ipvanish.com/central. Now,
question number 2 is a bigger question because Ohio State, I mean, they'll figure it out at quarterback. Guess what? They'll be pretty fucking good. Number 2, a high school senior is now going to potentially forego his senior season, leave his high school, leave his hometown, and go somewhere else because he has a chance to make millions of dollars. Maybe not millions, but significant amount of money. Does this change? It's going to change the face of high school football as we know it. What if the top 100, the top 200 recruits every year find it more profitable to not play high school football as a senior to get on there? It's going to create a logjam. What is the future here? What are we talking about?
Well, it's crazy because obviously it's been a thing for a long time that about guys leaving early after the fall semester. They go in January, get acclimated.
Those guys are getting ready, though.
That's a big thing. Like that's been going on for a long time now. This changes everything. I mean, like you gave him the big intro. Like he's obviously this superstar, highly touted guy. He's got the blonde mullet, so he's more marketable than just the average Joe if he just had a crew cut or shaved head or whatever. But it's so like it's opening Pandora's box, which obviously we've had 30 years of changes in 3 months. Things are going crazy. We have no idea what's going on. So to answer this or to ask another question off it. So obviously it's a Texas thing that he can't in a Texas high school.
That was where I was
Can you, as a high school athlete, certain states you can, correct?
Yeah, there are certain states that you can, as a high school athlete, make money. Certain states you cannot. Texas high school rules forbid it. So it's even like he could.
Because I could see a lot of out-of-state transferring for things like that. Like this could hurt the state of Texas football.
But in my, if I'm reading it right, he wouldn't even have to. Now he is committed to Ohio State.
Yes,
but he wouldn't even have to go out of state. If it's a Texas high school football law, he could go to Austin,
which he actually was. He was initially,
but he could go to he could sign with Texas, show up next week, give me my money, and because he's no longer privy to or no longer subject to high school rules, college says you can have that money. So if Texas signs a top 10 class, how many of those guys are going to say, all right, well, I need to go ahead and get started. I need to go ahead and get there.
I mean, yeah, if you're a guy if you're like you said, if you're a top 100 guy where you know where you're going before your season year even starts, you have every big-time college in the country is trying to recruit you.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely don't think he's going to be the last.
No, it's very, very interesting to see what happens. I just froze up here. I hope the chat didn't freeze up.
I've got a couple of things to add. Well, quarterback recruiting starts so early now. I mean, these quarterbacks commit sophomore, junior year. they're not playing catch up at the end necessarily as the position guys.
Yeah.
And so I could see what you're saying, like sitting out that fourth year if you're going to make millions of dollars and not have to risk injury. Because, there's so many, there's always juggling and recruiting, scholarships getting pulled, weird stuff. My question, so Texas, it's illegal to make money. Like, what if people can you go to IMG Academy in Florida and get endorsements?
I think so. Yeah.
See, that's
varies state to state. But let's be honest. Texas values Texas high school football. And Texas high school football, if they're losing big-time players, if South Lake Carroll, a moneymaker, starts losing players, that rule will be changed in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll go ahead and catch that rule up real
move.
quick. They'll figure that out. They're not going to let Texas high school football suffer at all because Texas high school football is one notch below college football in that state. It really is a religion. It really is that important. So South Lake Carroll losing a quarterback like this, especially to an out-of-state school, I feel like they could handle it as in-state. Oh, he's going to Texas? Good. Hook him. But losing him to Ohio State is going to be something that could potentially change the rules. Y'all want to get a couple calls? We'll grab a couple calls here. Let's see what we got here. We got Luke in New York. Go ahead, Luke.
Hey, Brandon, I heard you were sucking off Mike Tyson.
Let's go with
What was he going to say?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Who gives a fuck? Let's go with Mark in Philly. I know you'll act right. Go ahead, Mark.
Sup, fellas? I'm switching over from college football yesterday to the NFL with a future today on the Barstool Sportsbook. America's team, Jerry's team, the Dallas Cowboys are -139 to make the playoffs and +120 to miss the playoffs. And this may sound like a homer pick coming from the Philly area, but I love the odds on Dallas to miss the playoffs at +120. They have just as many questions as anyone else in the NFC East, in my opinion. All I hear about is how good the Dallas offense was with Dak healthy last year, and it was very good.
Yeah.
But they were 1-3 when Dak went down, and that one win was due to a watermelon onside kick against the Falcons. And the reason they sucked with Dak and without Dak had nothing to do with the offense. It's because of their defense and specifically their pass coverage. You take a look at what they've done this offseason, I don't think they've addressed it enough at all. Dallas has only made the playoffs 3 times in the last 10 years, and Mike McCarthy is a complete buffoon. Dallas is going to go under 500 again this year and miss the playoffs, so I love Dallas at +120 to miss the playoffs because, as my Philly brethren love to say, Dallas sucks.
Okay, let me counter there. Okay, you say they have just as many questions as everybody else in the division. I think you're being intellectually dishonest right off the top right there because the New York Giants don't know if they've got the guy at quarterback. The Philadelphia Eagles certainly don't know if they got the right guy.
They don't
at
know a
quarterback.
lot of things.
The Washington football team has been searching for that guy for years. None of those 3 teams are settled at quarterback or confident at quarterback or competent at quarterback even. Dallas knows they got a guy. They know they got their guy. If he stays healthy, they were putting up big numbers. They had to improve the defense. I think they did. I think Micah Parsons is going to be a revelation on that defense. I think they are positioned to have the least questions in this division. I know you're an Eagles fan, but you got to say, if you were entering just on paper, you'd take the Cowboys situation before you take any of the other 3 teams, wouldn't you?
No, I disagree. I actually think Washington is a step ahead of all these teams if we're going to talk about on paper. I don't trust Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm not a Ryan Fitzpatrick guy, but I didn't trust who they had last year, and they went 7-9. I think that defense is absolutely top-notch in Washington. I think they're well ahead defensively to where Dallas is offensively. And I just keep going back to the fact that their offense cannot do better than how it was doing last year. And I don't see the improvements on defense. You mentioned Micah Parsons, and I think Micah Parsons is a good player, but I don't necessarily know if that's what Dallas needed.
Mark, that's just not how you say his name.
Micah Parsons. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'm a bad pronunciator, but Micah Parsons he's a really good player. But Dallas needed guys who excelled in man coverage and coverage. He only played 64 snaps of coverage at Penn State in man. So that concerns me if they're going to ask him to do that right away as a rookie who took last year off. I just don't see the additions that are going to make this defense better, and I don't know how the offense can play any better than it was when they were losing.
If you were going to have a poor secondary in the NFL, though, you'd want to do it in the NFC East. You'd want to do it facing Jalen Hurts twice. You'd want to do it facing Daniel Jones twice. You'd want to do it, even though they got better at receiver. I think Daniel Jones and those receivers probably the second best offense in that division. But you'd want to be in that division. You'd want to play 6 games against those teams. And I just feel like we were just scratching the surface of that Dallas offense last year. Like CeeDee Lamb was a rookie. How much better is he going to be this year? You know, I don't know, Mark. You're my guy, and you're a sharp guy. So I hate to go against you at all. I just want to raise these questions. It's a good conversation.
The point you made about you want to have a bad secondary in the NFC East, I hear you on that because of the bad quarterback play. But you mentioned it. Every one of these teams improved so dramatically at the receiver position, with the Eagles getting Devonta, with the Giants getting Galladay and Tony, with the Washington football team adding Curtis Samuel and Brown from North Carolina. I think all of these teams improved so much at wide receiver. It's going to help Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Even if they're not excellent, it's going to help those guys. And everyone seems to – I'm not saying Dak had some Achilles or ACL injury, but I don't think it's crazy to expect a little, not exactly 100% Dak right away either. I think it could be an ease his way into the season to get back to where he was, especially from a running standpoint.
All right, very good.
I got one thing to add. Mike Nolan, who was the defensive coordinator last year, was the linebackers coach before. He's just a classic, really good position coach, not a coordinator. Hiring Dan Quinn, who obviously the Falcons' defense struggled the last few years, but he's a great defensive coordinator at Florida under Muschamp, and he did a really good job for the Legion of Boom under Pete Carroll. That could be a big coordinator upgrade potentially from Mike Nolan to him, and maybe that could help improve the defense to like average. We'll see, but I just think that's worth mentioning too.
Mark, anything else?
For sure, I hear you there, Mincy. Mike Nolan's an idiot. I'm totally in terms of a defensive coordinator. I definitely think that's an upgrade, but I'm not quite as high on Dan Quinn as you sound. I do think Dan
I'm not
Quinn
really
left a
sure,
lot
to be honest.
Oh yeah. I think he left a lot to be desired in Atlanta with how he managed those defenses.
All right, thank you, Mark.
No problem.
All right, that's Mark. Good. Yeah, okay. Let's get a couple more. I kind of like the calls. That was a good discussion.
It
right?
was.
Yeah, the only thing with NFC East is obviously the Cowboys have the explosive offense on paper, but I mean, the R-Words team, phenomenal.
Right.
The football team, their defense is unbelievable.
Really good. Pass rush is off the charts.
Giants' defense was really, really good last year.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those. I just don't know how well they're going to match up.
So it's a race.
I think it's going to be the class. It's going to be a classic NFC season where we're going to have a couple middling teams. I don't really know how I feel about the Eagles. I think they might even be a little better than we think. I think it's going to be similar to last year, but just like everyone just a little bit better. And I just think when it comes down to those end of the season games, defense beats offense at those times.
It is. It's a race between the Cowboys defense and the Giants/Washington football team offense to see which one can get credible enough and good enough to affect the division race. And,
no, I think that's it. For sure.
And if you're handicapping this thing, which Mark was doing, look at the division. 4 teams, all similar. Which one has a better quarterback?
No,
right now the answer is definitely the Dallas Cowboys.
I've never known less about a head coach or like a thing than this Philly situation. Like I feel like I at least have an idea about an NFL head coach, what their strengths are, all that. The Sirianni thing, I got no clue.
Well, here's the thing.
Like at all.
Here's my entire philosophy on the 2021 Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts is their starting quarterback. They're not going to be very good. Done.
No, he's just one of those guys. Like he's athletic, he can make plays, but I agree. I don't think he's a starting quarterback on a playoff football team.
I think if you have surround him with a lot of great stuff, O-line, running game, you can win with him, but you can't win because
even last year, I know it was short sample size. He was
sense.
only completing 50% of his passes. I mean, I just don't think I don't think anything, or not anybody, but I think most people don't think he's a long-term answer.
Patrick in New Jersey has a question for Ben Mintz, which that's odd. Go ahead, Patrick.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
You got it.
Cool. Mintz, loved the fish blog yesterday.
Awesome.
Going back to last week's show, I think Brandon made an interesting point talking about Ian Book. I'm a Notre Dame fan, and I agree to this point that I really think fans, kind of with him gone this year, will appreciate him more. I think the guy from Wisconsin coming in, Jack, is interesting, but I think a little revisionist history. We will miss Book, but that being said, I'm just interested with Mintz to see. I think it's a really interesting dynamic with Book, Taysom, and Jameis all in New Orleans. With camp starting up, I was just wondering how you think he fits into that quarterback room.
I mean, I think he's a solid backup that, he's not going to have any chance to start or play this year, I wouldn't think at all. But long term, I'm glad they got him. I feel like he's going to be a very steady backup, could step in, give it a couple of years, and he's certainly learning from the right guy in Sean Payton. But when you look at this year in New Orleans, everybody was saying Jameis can get the job, And I think this Mike Thomas thing kind of almost changes it because the Saints are so bad at receiver. I think Taysom may get a look here in the first part of the year. Nick Underhill, who's the Saints' badass beat writer, said it's still an open competition. And my point was, how can you pay Mike Thomas $100 million and then not have a guy that can throw him the ball with Taysom? But if he's out, I mean, this receiving core is kind of dusty. You know, run the ball with Taysom and O-line could happen the first part of the year. I think Book's just a solid backup year one. I think going forward, he could be the number 2 guy, though.
By the way, no such thing as a badass beat writer. Anyway.
Okay, fair enough. I like Nick.
And he asked about Ian Book. I think Ian Book is a very interesting college football discussion this year because I actually said this on Unnecessary Roughness, so I assume he listens to both shows because the point he was referencing I said on there. Ian Book for Notre Dame. Notre Dame will have an outstanding defense this year, a good running game, but we're going to find out how underappreciated Ian Book was. Ian Book was a really good quarterback who was looked at as a game manager, who was looked at as somebody who really couldn't do much. But if you look at the end of the year, I think his junior year, he had 34 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His numbers are eye-popping. They're very, very good. You look at the body of his work, and it's been great. And now they're going back to Jack Cohn. I'm sorry, that's like going from doggy style to missionary. That's just not going to be very exciting.
Well, I had the same. I think it might have been one when just me and Mitzi were on. I said the same thing that I thought that they were going to appreciate him now because when you talk game manager, Jack Cohn is a real game manager.
Yes.
He is not Ian Book.
The bad version of game manager, the boring version.
Yes.
Yeah. And Ian,
he's like the keep you above water.
And I think this year's Ian Book is going to be the guy who's for an 11-win team. You look up and you're never really overly impressed with him. You're thinking, oh, okay, the offense is good. But I think it's Desmond Ridder. I think Desmond Ridder and Ian Book are very, very similar. Very similar quarterbacks.
I think Ridder's a little more. I think Ridder has a little more potential, though.
You think?
Like, even NFL-wise.
I think size-wise he's a little bigger.
I think he's bigger. He's more athletic. Like, if you told me if I could have, like, either one, I would take Ridder.
I'm enjoying the chat boys today. You guys are good. I just want to point that out. Chat boys are good. Calls are good. Good flow. Zah, you're doing a good job.
Thank you, Brandon.
TJ,
you're doing a phenomenal job, too.
TJ, you're here.
Thanks, man.
No, I didn't. I just said you're here.
I mean, that's true.
Yes. Let's see. Brandon, how about a Barstool? I got you. Whenever he starts moving, Brandon, how about we get a Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl prediction? It's just impossible. Like the MAC and the Mountain West are. I think both conferences, especially the Mountain West. I think there's 6 or 7 good teams there.
Can I say my dream matchup for this?
Yeah, can I guess?
Yeah.
Boise?
No.
Okay, well then I'm out of guesses. San Diego State?
No.
He wants Nevada with the quarterback, right?
No, I think they're going to be
too good.
Okay, well, who is it?
Toledo and Fresno State.
Toledo and Fresno.
Ooh.
That's like Fresno is the Toledo of California.
Yes,
and Toledo is the Fresno of Ohio.
There's a lot of backstory with the Pick'em and Pat Hill and everything.
And then Toledo with Big Cat, the keys to the city.
I just think that like those two, I just think Toledo, Fresno State would be unbelievable.
Yeah, that does make a lot of
Pat Hill
sense.
would definitely come out to the game. He's still involved and all that, so I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Doug's Toledo.
Jeff Rowe Blaze, disappointed you haven't touched on NHL free agency. You're just going to have to be disappointed, motherfucker. I'm sorry. Me touching on NFL free agency is like me touching on opera singers. I don't know anything about any of them. So.
I just seen Chiefs been talking about Seth Jones a lot, and I know him because when I was at Ohio State, he played for the Blue Jackets.
I know the Bruins got a lot of players because I saw Marina running up and down yesterday saying we got this guy or we got that guy. At least I think that's what she was running up and down saying.
And it was her birthday too.
Hashtag chat boys. Happy birthday to Marina. If she were getting married this weekend, I'd go. Let's see. Oh, we didn't even talk about Champ versus Champ.
Yeah.
September 7th.
You brought up how
I was getting there.
All the announcements, yeah.
Yeah, September 7th, Koepka against Portnoy. Probably the 2 greatest golfers in America.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would think so.
Both have won U.S. Opens.
Yeah, big cat on the bag for Koepka.
Yeah.
I don't know who will be on the bag for Portnoy. I know he's asked Bryson.
I think it's if Bryson declines, I believe Frankie.
I doubt Bryson will decline. What if Bryson showed up?
I don't think Bryson will do it.
That would be amazing.
I don't think he wants to be in it's one thing to be on NBC or the Golf Channel, whatever. When you get between the lines, Barstool, I mean, you can let it when Brooks can let it fly and he can let it fly verbally. That's a losing battle for Bryson.
What is this company? That is ridiculous. Look at that.
So my question is, does this now open it up where Dave can play Whitney and the pro thing won't matter because there's money on the line in this?
Well, it's charity.
It was never Dave not being able to play Whitney, right? I thought it was Riggs not being able to play
the Riggs
Whitney.
and Whitney thing was because they wanted to actually make a bet on it between the two of them.
Oh,
where this is for charity. So Whitney said he couldn't because then he couldn't play in all his like local golf course, like the country club, like events and things like that. If you're pro and you take money, you can't do that.
Did Whitney body Riggs the other day?
I don't know.
Did Whitney body Riggs? I just if we got that on Twitter, Riggs was chirping Whitney about scoring low or scoring poorly, and I think Whitney might have bodied Riggs. I don't know either one of me and Riggs have met twice. Me and Whitney have met twice, but I feel like they had a little back and forth on Twitter the other day where Whitney kind of took a shovel out and tried to go at Riggsy's throat, boy's throat.
Zah's pulling it up.
Let's see. Okay, what kind of, I'll say, tough day for your boy Whitty, 77, some ugly swings. So Riggs comes back. What kind of Ryan Whitney state-run media are they running over there? 42 in the front, only footage we get as a pin seeker on 9. Jesus. And then that's like a body blow. That's like I punch you in the belly. I poke you in the belly button. And Whitney just drops this graphic of Riggs shooting a 103.
Oh, man.
Shooting a 103.
I didn't see this at all.
A 103. And I know you don't play golf. I haven't played in 3 years. I went and played golf over the break. I shot a 96, and I don't.
That's pretty good for someone.
I don't play.
I play every now and then. I'll shoot probably like around like low hundreds. Like
that's 103. He plays.
But I'm saying I'm sure that's got to be.
He lives and cries on golf courses.
It has to be an incredibly tough golf course.
He plays more than Brooks.
I would think. I'm going to give Riggs the benefit of the doubt and think I'm going to assume it's on an incredibly tough golf course. I would think. I'm trying to give him the benefit
all
of the
the time. 103 shouldn't be in your vocabulary.
But if you played, like you shot a 96, you're playing from probably the blues.
Yeah, I'm not playing difficult conditions. Yeah,
I'm saying if you're playing from like the tips at a professional level type golf course. I know he's a low like a single digit handicap, so I'm assuming a 103. My dad's like a 10 handicap. He would never shoot 103.
I don't know how many single digit handicaps shoot 103 ever.
No, that's my dad. My dad's about a 10, 11.
Yeah.
He would never shoot a 103. If he played his worst round, he'd shoot like
But
I
don't. This is not me judging Riggs. This was Whitney. This was just interesting to watch from afar.
No, I agree. I'd like to see how the 103 went down.
Man.
I'm just posing some questions.
Yeah,
here.
You're right. Devil's advocate.
Some questions.
All right. Riggs, great guy. Met him twice. Not judging. Just Whitney took that altercation from poking to punching real quick.
No matter what the circumstance of the 103 was, that's still a great jab. No question about it.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Paint your life. Get a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo at a truly affordable price. Choose from a team of world-class artists and work with them until every detail is perfect. User-friendly platform lets you order a custom-made hand-painted portrait in less than 5 minutes. It's a quick and easy process, and you can get a hand-painted portrait in about 3 weeks. Send any picture. It could be yourself, your children, a family, a special place, or a cherished pet, or you can even combine them into one painting. At paintyourlife.com, there's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now, as a limited time offer, get 20% off your painting. That's right, 20% off and free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word CENTRAL to 64000. That's CENTRAL to 64000. Once again, text CENTRAL to 64000. Paint your life and celebrate the moments that matter most.
Did you just tickle yourself during that? Did you just start laughing?
Just the third. It had the third read of that number, and I thought that was a little excessive.
Somebody said, one of the chat boys says, you don't ever go after a hockey guy. That's probably accurate.
No, they're definitely good shit talkers.
Yeah, really good shit. Good counter punchers.
Big time.
One quick thing: Chris Bryant and Rizzo are out of the lineup today.
Okay.
It came out in chat.
Well, there you go. Trade deadline.
That was almost like a guarantee that was happening.
Okay. What about Baez? He playing?
It didn't say. It just said Bryant and Rizzo, and then NBA draft tonight. Ev. I know we're not.
So Cade's going first. Obviously, where's Evan Mobley going to go? Where's
he's a favorite right now to go to third.
Suggs. Where's Jalen Suggs?
They're saying Jalen Green is going. The order in terms of favorites and odds makers is Cunningham 1, Jalen Green 2, Mobley 3, and Suggs 4.
I love Suggs. I love Mobley too. I think Mobley's my favorite player in this draft.
Suggs.
And then Cade Cunningham, of course. I love the top. Now
I want to see where Cam Thomas goes.
Cam Thomas?
I just feel like he's a really good scorer. His scoring he looks like a natural NBA scorer.
I love Book Knight too.
How about Ayo from Illinois?
He's going to go, I think, like a late first rounder.
What's it?
Mid-late-ish.
Now, in watching during the season, and I know the problems with athleticism and whatever, does he fit in the pro game? Luka Garza's going undrafted tonight, right?
I would say unless a flyer late in the season.
How often does a player of the year go undrafted? But he's got concrete feet.
Probably more than you. I think it just depends year to year because I feel like some years you see that it's the first pick in the draft, and then some years it's a guy like him.
Yeah.
Because didn't what's the guy's name? Luke May.
Yeah.
Like he was up there for Player of the Year, and he was like not even a thought.
That's right. So
you see guys like that.
I completely forgot Luke May existed until you said that. I remember he hit the big shot in the tournament to beat Kentucky.
Yeah, it's freshman year.
And then he was a freshman. And then he was like a huge.
He became a beast.
He would shoot. He would shoot 10 out of 13 every night and have 25 points. He was super efficient, but he just wasn't. He just wasn't a pro prospect.
He might not be able to make it in Europe.
I don't know where he is.
He was a phenomenal. Wherever Luke May's at, I hope he's doing well.
God bless him. I hope he's great.
Maybe he's watching.
Had a good beard. Good beard.
It's okay. I didn't like the way he shaved it. He shaved it very corny.
All right.
Too far down.
Let's do picks real quick, and then I'll try to swing 2 or 3 more calls. So picks real quick. Big Ev, you've been leading throughout, so I'll just let you go. Let you go again.
All right. So I know. So this one already started. I have the Mets, but it's 0-0 through 2. Third inning's about to start, so you can get on it live if you want. I also have the Yankees money line today. Cole in the mound. Starting to swing some things. I think we played. Yeah. We usually play like dog shit at Tampa. We've won 2 in a row in Tampa. Hoping we can finish it off. Then I got the White Sox -1.5. I think they bounce back today. And I have the Brewers -1.5. The Pirates are just bad right now. They're trading any of the talent that they have. I think they're just going to keep getting annihilated by good teams like the Brewers.
Ben Mintz.
I have got the Yankees with Cole as well. I thought I don't even know how I feel about it. 124 is such a short price on Cole, but the Rays are good and they're on the road, so I guess it makes sense. I went with Casey Mize laying the 1.5 just because Detroit's playing such a bad team, and then I took the Padres laying a 1.5 as well. The Padres are like -270, but the laying the 1.5 was only $1.25 today, and I think they scored enough runs.
Got Braves Mets under 8.5. I got Giants money line to beat the Dodgers. I got the Red Sox money line to beat the Jays, and I got Packers over 10.5 wins. Now that the drama's over, now that they're all going to get settled, now they got his little whiny ass press conference out of the way. That's still
I want to talk about that.
It's still an MVP level quarterback. Devontae Adams still there. You have an extra game. They can lose 6 games and cash this over. 11-6 cashes this. Packers over 10.5 wins. The Bears aren't there. The Vikings are just kind of there. The Lions are starting over basically. A lot of wins to be had in that division. I just like Packers over 10.5 wins. Hit that press conference real quick and let me see if I can get a call.
So obviously, I'm assuming you didn't like it. You called him whiny.
I didn't really care. It's just I'm just ready for that.
Did you? How much did you watch? I watched.
I just watched the Twitter clips.
I watched the first 10 minutes of it. It was he literally started off with a 4.5-5 minute monologue.
Yeah.
My only thing is, I just appreciate when players like that are just honest.
Yeah.
I felt like he just would legitimately for the first time was an open book about how he was feeling. The entire situation. So from that perspective, I just think it's refreshing when guys are he was totally honest speaking from his heart, which I can appreciate.
Let me get this call real quick. So it's Luke in New York. Go ahead, Luke.
Hey, Brandon, why are you afraid of playing?
So
what was he going to ask?
He was going to ask he was going to say, why are you afraid of playing Kirk, I would assume. It's one of Kirk's cocksuckers. So he's spending his which they're whatever. Kirk's a great guy, very talented, but
knows all religions.
Knows all religions. Great
what are the odds on the new player he picks?
I know.
You got odds on people?
I know who it is.
It's already locked in.
What did you think about the ruling?
What ruling?
The
banning of Trista. I think should have been lifetime.
Yeah, I
should have been lifetime. Somebody works their ass off on a trivia show and builds it into a thing and builds it into something, and he fucking gets here at 7 in the morning and he's editing and he's doing all this and he works and you just show up and try to turn it into your personal showcase of look how much I can cheat and try to be the villain. No, that's no bias for me.
The gall to me, and I asked Jeff about it, and he kind of deflected it on here yesterday. It's the fact that she did that and said, I did this and created buzz for a show that was so successful already. Like, to me, that was like one of the most arrogant I just couldn't believe that comment, to take it that way.
I hope Luke calls back. I want to get him in real quick. Do I have time? Zai, you want to let me take one?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, let's see. Let's take the one that says college football. Dan in Pennsylvania, go.
Hey, real quick, I got a win total Pitt over 7. Kenny Pickett's coming back for his 18th year. Narduzzi's in year 7. I think they got an easy non-conference schedule. Tennessee's the hard one on there, but that should be a win. And I got a discussion question. You can talk about it tomorrow, but best college football atmospheres and a sneaky one too. Something that you kind of got there and was like, oh, damn. That's pretty nice.
Very good. we will talk about it tomorrow on Friday. I love that one. I know what the best one is. I assume you're going to say the best one is the same thing as me. We're not going to. Sneaky one is, by the way, my school. It's really sneaky. But the best one, the best atmosphere in college football, the best tailgating, the best stadium, it's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's LSU. It's just different down there. I've been to the Big Ten. I've been to the SEC. I've been to Clemson. I've been all over the country. LSU just does it differently and better than everybody else. They'll scare you. They'll throw piss on you every now and then, but they'll also give you some gumbo and some boudin, and it's fantastic. You agree with that?
I do. It's got to be the Saturday night games, though. I think it's all about that Saturday night factor. I don't think it's the same if it's during the day. And there's a lot of backlash right now. They're going corporate on the tailgating spots, and people are really bitching.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
Like people are really upset about it.
The loudest stadium I ever heard, 2014, Dak Prescott beat LSU there, but before a 3rd and 10 in the third quarter, when LSU was still in it, my ears hurt. They throbbed. I was like, this isn't natural.
I need to get to an SEC game. So
you really do.
I haven't been to one.
You need to go to LSU. You need to try to get Bama LSU one.
That app will be in Louisiana next year, so hopefully Louisiana will be in play.
All right. Good. Hey, that was fun.
Heck yeah.
Hey, chat boys, good show. Callers, good show.
Oh, wow.
Look at that, 84%. I love it. Let's do it. Let's run it back tomorrow, boys. Yak is up next.